Hey, how you doing? I'm putting up a video response to a video entitled "Police Raids Are Dangerous." We're gonna post this on the shootdon'tshoot.com website. And I don't know this gentleman's name, and I understand where he's coming from, and I also appreciate the way he laid this out. First of all, let me tell you some history. I've been an officer for about 15 years. I work a high crime area, so I'm going to offer my 2 cents of advice here. But I appreciate the way he laid this out. He didn't lay it out in a completely bashing manner, and I believe him to be sincere. So I wanted to try to answer some of these questions here. Okay, first of all, to get a warrant to enter someone's home for a raid is extremely difficult. You have to show on multiple occasions that what you observe to be suspicious. You almost have to have well, in some jurisdictions, it depends on the judge, how strict they are, but you have to have really more than I guess a preponderance of evidence. It's not just a 51%. You really have to have a lot of evidence to show, because judges are extremely reluctant to sign warrants to enter someone's home. They have to have a lot of information. If you get past that phase and the judge signs it, and you're able to enter the home, well, first of all, understand how drug dealers think. Let's say I'm a drug dealer, and I know when the police come in that door at some point, they're obviously going to be looking for the dope. Well, I'm not just going to leave it in a closet. I'm going to look around my house, and I'm going to figure out spots to hide my dope. Right now I'm looking at my kitchen table, and I can see that my chair, I could take a drill and drill one of the bottom legs of my chair and put some of my dope in there, and then I can cover it back up. And when the average police officer looks at that, he or she is never gonna realize that there's dope inside that chair. I can look. I'm just looking around here. I mean, the whole point is drug dealers, are very clever, especially these days. They try to hide their dope. They know if you come in, they know they don't. This isn't like the movies where they see a knock at the door and the drug dealers run to the bathroom and start dumping their dope down the toilet. Sophisticated drug dealers now are past that. I've found drugs in areas that I never would have suspected. But now that's just one side of the coin. Now, as far as these links, there is a good possibility that they got the wrong address. It's hard for me, in being in law enforcement, to give too much credit to that, because I know how strict it is to have this stuff right. But let's just say that it is. Let's just say that these links are accurate. Like the elderly couple, for example. Let's say it's possible that they got the wrong house. And let me also say, on a side note, elderly couples sell drugs too. It just don't fall into a stereotype because they're elderly that they can't sell dope. That's 100% not true. But let's just say that it's right, and they did make a mistake, and they did get the wrong house. Okay, well, now you're talking about lawsuits. You're talking about people losing their jobs. You're not going to get criminal activity as much, because the government agency is going to have a lot of leeway. I can't think of the word. I know they're covered by immunity and stuff like that, for the most part, but you can still sue the individual police department, and there's normally going to be settlements. But the reason I bring that up is, yes, that isn't going to correct that problem, but it's going to deter future mistakes, I guess, or sloppy police work. So, but anyway, the only thing I guess I just wanted to try to answer in a follow-up manner on this question, because he had actually asked, and I'm just trying to give you the position from the police officer. And let me say one more point here. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the police. I understand that. But one thing you have to understand about media is media are in business because they sell stories and they get advertisers. If I'm media, when I'm trying to put a story on TV, I'm not trying to come out and make a boring story. I'm trying to dramatize it. I'm looking for drama. So if I find out that a local police department, entered into an old couple's home and didn't find any drugs or whatever, I'm going to interview that couple, and they're going to tell me that we don't know what was going on. We were just watching Little House on the Prairie, and we were sitting there. And then and then let's say that a next door neighbor tells me, yeah, we think they were selling dope because blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to put that statement in there from the next door neighbor. I'm going to put the old lady crying. I'm going to put the old lady on TV crying, saying that they were watching Little House on the Prairie, and then I'm going to try to make the police look bad, because that's what's going to get people to watch that particular news article. That's what's going to get people to watch it. And yes, it's going to make the police look bad. It's going to make the situation look worse than it was. And let's say the police officers do tell me something, like give me a statement that, yeah, we had 3 drug dealers arrested right out front of here, 1 admitted, we've got photo. I'm not going to put that whole statement in there. I'm only going to put one little line of him. I'm going to put a 5 little megabyte, well, maybe don't quote me on that, but I'm just saying I'm going to put a little sentence from the officer that says, we had reason to believe. I'm not going to let them explain their side. I'm going to try to twist the story so I can sell my story. So the whole point I'm trying to make is, don't believe everything you hear. It's and I might get slammed on this. I don't know. I don't really care. But the whole point is, there's 3 sides of the story, as we say in police work. There's this guy's, there's one side, there's the other side, then there's the truth. So anyway, I hope this video was informative, and I hope this maybe answered your question, and maybe you can understand from a police perspective a little bit too, because I certainly understand your perspective, and I understand the views out there. And let me tell you too, real quick, there are some asshole cops out there. Don't get me wrong, but guess what? Those asshole cops too, that make people so bitter toward the police, we don't like them either. I don't like them either. I've got them at my department. I don't talk to them. There's assholes in every profession, and it is a shame when you get them in police work, but anyway, hope this video offered some insight to the other side, and thanks for watching.